And welcome back. I hope you guys are, oh wait, hang on. I hope you, wait, no, I'm not. I hope you guys are ready for Period Drama versus Big Chungus. As we're about to get underway, as I quickly find the game. Medway, are you ready? What, not in? That balls.
I am. Yes, I am ready. Hello. Sorry about that. Yep, there was a bit of a cut off there. Yeah, I'm looking forward to second game, some period drama, and big chungus as well.
Yeah, we're just getting the trash talk out the way in chat. I'm afraid this is not Twitch suitable. Um, Under 15s
No.
would not be allowed to know the channel. Woo. No, so I guess we can do a little quick preview of what we're expecting pick bands before they get going. I'm not gonna lie, my knowledge of period drama is sketchy, even though I'm pretty sure I cast them last week. But what I can tell you is Big Chungus will be looking for some pretty specific picks. Anarui in the top lane will be looking for that Yorick, Maud, Nico, big three. As we do, cut into pick bands now. And mid lane, lead Sting will be looking for Cass and Vigar. So we'll see whether period drama will be doing their homework. And they know what to ban out. The Cassiopeia against lead Sting, as said, ban number 1. We'll see if they pick out the Vigar as well and really target ban lead Sting in the mid lane.
Yeah. It's all about see if they can focus as much as they did with Ellie last time and focus one player. But I think it sounds like it's going to be a bit more of a varied banning, as you see the Caitlyn get banned. There's the Vigar gone. Yep.
Yeah. So we got Anaril in chat saying that Nico isn't part of the top 3. It's the Quinn we should be looking out for. Now, of course, maybe they're telling the truth. Maybe they're just hoping that period drama also ghosting, and we're looking to ban that out instead. We'll see. But there goes the Yorick as well, focused against Anarul. So we'll see if he prioritizes picking up one of the top 2 out of Maud or Nico / Quinn, however you want to believe him. This time, in chat though, planning something spicy. We'll see what that is. The Echo ban out against probably that one player, but maybe Realms. And then the Afro Bard ban. I mean, you kind of have to, don't you? It would be like not banning Morgana against Morgana Freeman when we've had them in the league in the past. A bit sad to see them not in this year. Or at least I've not seen them. I don't believe they're around. But the Braum first pick, Static Vapor in the bot lane. Realms on that Mordekaiser, which I guess is the takeaway pick from Anaruel. You've always got to be careful doing that. You take away the pick, but
can you play it well?
Can you play it well enough against someone who knows exactly what makes it tick?
Yeah, and Mordekaiser obviously, with the new champion that he is, and the ultimate that he has with the Death Realm, and he can easily pick off that Lucian, for instance, later on in the game, and depending on who his top laner is as well, can really snowball as well. So they've got to be careful with that.
Yeah, but Braun Lucian, a classic bot lane pairing, of course. Lucian synergizes very well with Braun passive, sets up some good ganks pretty much throughout the laning phase. I mean, it works well early, but I mean, an insta-proc stun is an insta-proc stun. Pretty much whatever part of the game you go. Jinx was someone who I believe got a couple of buffs in patch 10.2. Am I right, or were they nerfs? I'm pretty sure they were buffs.
Yes. So the buffs that she got, so it was also to do with the fact that she now gets bonus movement speed with epic monsters. So of course, the objectives at the end, makes a difference. Taking the dragons and the Rift Herald, quick getaway or straight into a team fight as well. So, listing the things that passive procs off is a very champion resonant way to have more Jinx moments, as Riot called it.
Well, you know what? I'm not one for denying her Jinx moments. It is what makes her fun. She always was a champion, largely centered around, I guess, perception and character, as opposed to a lot of champions. She was always the almost defined by her character rather than her skill set.
Yeah.
But there we go. Leeds taking the Oriana mid. You know, a Cass Vigo player. It's not perhaps surprising that the Oriana is taken.
Yeah, that's a control mage that maybe Ellie could have used last game. A safe pick as well, considering that they haven't picked the other team haven't picked their mid laner. So yeah, and a singed Hobbit as well. That's interesting pick, which I would think it was going to be picked. Ramus.
Yeah. All right, Ramus. A very good pick into the Jinx. You know, obviously stacks armor. I'm sure I don't need to tell any of you guys in chat that. But also very good at getting onto that kind of immobile champion like a Jinx. The Thresh Flay will only do so much to stop him powerballing in. The Hook can do a bit more, but trying to hit a Ramus moving at whatever his move speed is once he's powerballed and righteous gloried and that kind of thing. You know, he's moving 700-800 move speed.
Yeah, it's good to note as well that his ultimate does affect structures as well. It does 200% damage. So it's considering how much more important the jungle camps are now. That you don't really want to hang around too much in lane as a jungler now. What you get the gank and the kill, and then you go back and kind of do your farming. So it'd be interesting to see how much they decide to use that effect on his ultimate there.
Well, there we go. Spicy pick. Okay, looks like we may have had a proxy pick. I'm going to cut back to in break to pre-show, just in case things get said that we don't need. Don't cut. Don't cut what? I'm not sure what we were cutting. We saw that singed at the end there though. I'm interested to see whether that's a real pick. Maybe we can quickly grab it. I know you guys are in chat. What's happened with that pick? Are we going straight?
What is going on? Okay, so a bit of a communication breakdown here. Yeah, it needs to be the same bands. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, for the stats. I mean,
for the stats, what?
We'll see what we can do. Hopefully we can get into game pretty quick. So it looks like what's happening here is that the Ramus was in fact a Renekton. And now as I say that out loud, I don't know how that makes sense. Does that mean that we got a singed in the jungle? That doesn't make sense either. I'll cut us back to pick bans, and we'll see where we end up. What I do know is that one player is playing Syndra in the mid lane.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That's his go-to as well, as we know. When he played in the first week.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're going to be a pivotal point, and again, just like Team Washed Up, they're going to have their mid laner as a kind of focal point as a big part.
There you go. It was a proxy ban for Rek'Sai, not Renekton. That makes a lot more sense. I don't know why I read Rek as Renekton.
Yeah, there you go. There's the Rek'Sai pick. Okay.
Old habits die hard. Okay, cool. That makes a lot more sense than a Renekton or a Singed jungle.
I'm all for a Singed jungle, It's 2020.
It's time for some mix-up. A Singed power farm through the jungle sounds truly, truly dreadful. Unless he can somehow... I don't know. I don't know how that would even work.
You just have to walk around in a circle constantly until the buff died.
Yeah, but you'd run out of mana so fast. You'd have to go, get hard pulled Gromp, and then do blue buff somehow and hope you make it through that, and then maybe you can get through. But, I mean, God, that sounds awful.
You can't even take mana potions anymore. They don't exist. So.
No, so you're screwed. That's, yeah. Let's not even get into that. That's not happening. The Ezreal bot lane was the other pick that happened right before we cut out of pick bans. Coming up against... wait, hang on, where's that going? Oh, God. So is that Ezreal jungle? Because
No.
there was a Jinx pick, wasn't there?
Yeah, because then there was a Lucian Braum on side of Big Chungus, wasn't there?
Yeah. This has got spicy all over.
Okay. I mean, Ezreal Jungle has been a thing.
It has been in the past.
Was it not season 8 or season 9, maybe? So
a while back. I can
yeah,
tell you that much.
Yeah. So old habits die, as you said, old habits die hard.
Yeah.
So So we do have an Ezreal Jungle. I'm not quite sure. I mean, that's a very attack-heavy team again, like we saw on the side of Blue Bin Boomers, where they kind of had it's all or nothing. If the Ezreal falls behind, and obviously Rek'Sai is a pretty strong jungler right now, then that's kind of their composition gone, really.
Yeah.
Whereas on the side of Big Chungus is they've got quite a few options. Kind of, if Rek'Sai's not doing so well, they've got the Lucian and the split pushing Singed as well. So, yeah, I'm interested to see how this goes. I mean, I'm all for change ups and breaking the meta. So, let's see how this goes.
So, okay, so we'll talk through a couple of things quickly. So, well, not too quickly. We've got 3 minutes to kill, but I'm expecting the Ezreal jungle to go AP then. Because I don't think he'll get enough gold.
That's kind of what you do. Yeah, that's what you do. Kind of as the jungler Ezreal as well. You just go 40 power, and then you come out of the jungle with a bit of farm, and then you just burst down the kind of the mid lane or ADC. So that's kind of the way you go with.
Yeah, you're not going to get the poke that you would with an AD Ezreal in lane to kind of do any kind of long term damage. So you got to look for that burst coming in on ganks, and AP Ezreal has always been a high burst champion. Ever since it was, I guess, popularized by the likes of Civ HD.
Oh yeah, those were the days. I used to love those videos. They're great. As long as you got 1 HP, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Without doing a racist French accent.
Now, I'm not sure what he'll take as a rune. I would say that maybe Dark Harvest isn't completely out the question. If that is what he's going for. Like, you don't pick this without a game plan. Is he just intending to gank hard and gank often and look for things like, Syndra can set up some good ganks in the mid lane. Orianna is not a mobile champion.
No.
Maybe that's where they attack. They attack the mid lane. They look for, just repeated ganks through there. Because top lane is going to be a nightmare to gank. Either way, I don't think they have enough real lockdown on a Singed when it comes to it. The Mordekaiser pull back, we'll give them a fair go at it, but
yeah, I've just looked at Crush's runes, and so he's gone Conqueror. And then Domination, on his runes. So he might actually be going the AD route then, potentially, if that's what he's doing.
Okay.
So, I mean, I suppose you can still go Conqueror using ability power, I suppose. It's adaptive force as well. So, obviously, it's just not very good for ranged champions when fully stacked. The heal's only half of it, 8%. So,
and you don't heal against mobs. It's only against champions, right?
Yeah, champions. It is champions. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I just wanted to double check. I couldn't remember the wording of it, but yeah. So he's not going to be able to use that in the jungle.
Does it even stack on minions? If that matters, I mean, it probably wouldn't matter.
No, it doesn't. It's literally only champion battles that it counts for. So it's only when he's going to come out and gank and late game as well. So they've really kind of pushed the boat out here, and it's probably thrown Big Chungus off as well, to be fair. So they're kind of probably not sure how to go about that. So kudos to them.
Right. Okay. In which case, early game, my eyes are going to be locked on Lick Me Lid. Lick Me Lid is the star jungler for Big Chungus. He is where a lot of their general gameplay comes from, and their how they play the game. A Rek'Sai into an Ezreal, an AD Ezreal early game in the jungle, who is going to be taking, I can't underestimate this, so much damage from the jungle. He is not a tanky champion. He can do a bit of kiting, that's true, But if Rek'Sai finds him first clear, that is going to be one of the most one-sided jungle battles you've seen since, I don't know, Lee Sin Twitch or something. Like, that's... Ezreal will get it handed to him.
I mean, he has... I just looked as well, Crush has played lots of Ezreal, so clearly he's gone in with a plan, and there's something, actually, that's looking likely to work. So, that's going to be kind of the focus of the interesting part. And also, I suppose, he has got Arcane Barrage to kind of... True Shot Barrage, not Arcane Barrage, my mistake. To come out at any time really. With that, and then the Jinx super mega Death Rocket is quite a good, and then also the Unleashed Power from Syndra is actually quite a good execute combo in essence. So there is that nice synergy there. So and then Jinx is just Micro Cost is showing the love for the casters.
Yeah, don't worry, Micro. We are going to be on you. Yeah, no, I think we've got to have some decorum at least. So a good old bot lane rundown from Period Drama. Coming in through the middle. They're not going to find anyone at the blue buff if that's the way they go, but they might go for if they go for the full wrap round, we're going to have some spicy 5v5 action. Possibly from behind. And I know that's the kind of action that the MLS appreciates.
bit of rear action, as we like to say.
But okay.
They decided to branch away, and nothing's going to happen. But we do have Period Drama about to possibly cause some drama here, as they do come into the blue side. There is the red ward there, though, so they have been spotted, but they don't know they've been spotted as well. So,
as Mordekaiser backs in full view.
Yeah, and interrupted there, and they've been spotted.
That's a big interrupt. Realms is now going to be forced to either use his TP or miss probably at least half wave of farm. At the very least. And there we go, the TP up.
Yeah, we've got to use the teleport.
Teleporting to Tanner as well, not feeling brave enough to TP all the way into lane. Interesting. I don't...
Yeah, he did watch out for that scene. He wasn't sure where he was.
Well, you were fairly sure he wasn't at the... You got to know where he is, right? You know they're not starting blue buff.
Yeah, he'd be leading, but also it's a Singe, so it's not not like a Riven or a Darius, so he should be all right. So, but there you go. But interesting if that mentality of the kind of the defensive, he's not certainly holding back there at least.
No, he's already chunked that Singe down to half health, and I do expect that to continue for the early game. Singe would probably take a bit of a peek once he gets what I'm assuming will be. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, my knowledge of the Singe builds these days isn't the best. He'll either go defensive item or he'll go something more like a Rod of Ages if he's feeling a bit spicier. I don't know if that's still a typical Singed build or not.
Well, they did say they were feeling spicy, so that could be the route to go.
I mean, realistically, if he's feeling not spicy, a defensive build should work out fairly well against this team. They've got a decent mixed damage, but they've got no tanks. So if he can get into that backline and just cause havoc, they're not going to be able to deal with him too well.
We got an early gank coming in here, though, as well. Yeah, Realms, unfortunately, is gone way too far forward. He's been able to come over. Flash comes in from the Rek'Sai, but then does flash back as well. So not much left, but of course, Rek'Sai being able to try and do that. And we do have the flash pull back as well. So now he is back in the thick of it. Does pull them both in, and he is looking worse for wear, and that is a first blood from the jungler we were talking about, Lick Milad.
Yep. And no teleport on Realms meaning he's going to get very punished for this. Who would have thought that one W out of mildly epic solution in the bot lane would cause Realms to miss probably a wave of CS here. A nice stun coming out of that one player, but low on heart, he's got to be careful.
Well, on the damage there, and is showing us how to do the Ezreal jungle. It is still viable, clearly.
Alright, so...
How do you see... Obviously, we've got that top lane kind of going up there. How do you see the bot lane kind of
I mean, I don't think anyone can think that this isn't going to be a Lucian Braum dominated early game. You know, Jinx isn't the worst culprit, as we see. Ezreal getting very low. He's...
Oh, yeah, that could be a free kill there for the lead team. That was just very risky, and Crush...
So
not
greedy.
quite... yeah, it was just not worth it, really. There's just no need. I don't understand junglers who do this. It's normally the junglers. They kind of take one confidence boost and then carry on. So that was a bit bold in a free kill. Meanwhile, they're talking a free kill, so Realms is going to have his return kill, and that has now balanced the books there in the top lane. Meanwhile, though, the death sentence does not connect, as we have a bit of aggro in bot lane.
Yeah, nice and close. But no, it is, of course, the Lucian Braum you expect to be pushing in early game. Jinx isn't the biggest pushover. She's got range, obviously, on her side. She can farm safely at least, but there's always the kill pressure from a Lucian Braum on that Thresh Jinx. You know, if a Thresh lands a hook, the Jinx traps can go down. You know, it's definitely not complete plain sailing, but it's a lot more of an involved setup than if they really wanted to force hard. Here we go.
As well. She is just not tanky at the moment, and there's a free kill for the Ezreal jungler going down there, and they're going to start to chase as well onto the Braum, but of course nowhere near as much damage, so is going to survive for now and walk away. And that was just another quite bold move from an MLS player, as we've come to see in this game so far.
Yeah, after what I just said, of course it doesn't help if you decide to run it into a bush. Face check a bush. Yeah,
sorry about that.
Face check a bush and into a choke point where the Jinx can throw down those traps behind the Rek'Sai she tries to get in. As that one player putting a bit of poke damage, takes a turret shot for the trouble zone.
Yeah, it does do when but Lee's Ting does return fire, and just not enough damage yet on the side of the Syndra. So that one player going down first, good pull under the turret. We'll get a bit of turret aggro there. Realms under his turret, but he should be alright with the Singed, as he is being chased around a bit with the Singed doing typical Singed and pulling him over again. Just not quite enough damage, and it is getting very tasty in that top lane now.
Has to be careful in that poison trail though. It was still hanging around and it really wasn't very healthy. As we see a collapse in from the Syndra from above.
Limilid has done the blink into the Rek'Sai though, and does well to flash over the wall. And now he's got the Conqueror as well, which does good damage inside that one player. One more damage will do it. And yes, that is a good return. Lee's Ting reacting very well on that last little hit there, which I'm not quite sure what it was.
I think
really,
it was the airy. The airy proc, I think, is what got it right at the end there.
Yeah, it just kind of seemed to be spaghetti code there, but there we go. We won't question Riot's build.
Build? That'll do.
Riot's patterns. There we go.
No, so that's a third kill over to Leeds Ting on this Orianna in the mid lane, and that is one you got to be careful for. I mean, Orianna's, you know, I don't know if run
get a good stun there onto Leeds Ting and take some good damage. Yeah, she is 3-0 as you said. So,
yeah, 3-0, and with a couple of good vectors to get that ball in late game on either the Rek'Sai or the Singed, if they just want to, you know, literally run it down with the ball on.
Yeah.
One of the few times running it down is a recommended strategy.
Yeah.
The Singed, though, pulling ahead on CS, we're going to see him pick up another 8 or 9 here as he catches this wave under turret, pulling him ahead to a 20 CS lead. And that's despite the Mordekaiser being a kill ahead. That's just the pressure that Singed has been putting down. Even if the Mordekaiser has been getting some chip down, it's at the expense of some farm.
Yeah, certainly managing, you know, a losing lane very well on the side of Singed. So not letting that Mordekaiser get too far ahead, as doing some good damage there with the poison trail as well.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, as that is going on as well, some bit of aggro there. We have got the Drake being taken down, Infernal Drake, currently for Big Chungus, getting very low, and yes, do get it on the side of the Orianna taking it. But fortunately, no steal this time, and Big Chungus get away with the first Drake.
Yeah, the Thresh lands the hook in on the side, but there's no real threat of an engage there. 4 members down. Syndra is still sitting in the mid lane, as was the Ezreal. Period John were really not positioning in a way that would suggest they wanted to contest that. And that's probably correct. You know, we've mentioned that the bot lane on Big Chungus does have a fair advantage over the Jinx Thresh early game, and they can afford to let a Drake or two go. Probably no more than that. The way that Drakes can snowball now does kind of dissuade that, but the first one or two are really, they're no concern. They're weaker than they used to be.
We've got the flash up from the Braum as well, so the Jinx is very much stuck in a corner, and she would go down from the culling to the Lucian, and now the flash, unfortunately, will not be enough for the Thresh. One more hit should do it, and probably should have taken into his flash, and a double kill, crucially, for that Lucian. 6 kills to 3.
Yep, both flashes blown from the bot lane, so this is going to be a tasty target for Lick Me Lid if he wants to come back down again to this bot lane and revisit for a repeat gank. In the top lane, 23 CS now down on this Mordekaiser. He's going to have to start pulling it out. He's only got the Merc Treads and a Ruby Crystal, sitting on 860 gold. He's really not got that much to spend. He's going to have to start pulling it out, because he is one of their late game insurance policies in the side lane. He kind of has to be able to beat someone like Singed, or at least hold him even. Otherwise, all he's going to be in the late game is an ult bot to try and get rid of Orianna, maybe, or Lucian, or maybe even Singed if he has to pull that one out, because at least the Singed doesn't have kill pressure on him, and he can just take it out the game.
Yeah, he's throwing him about though plenty of times, but Mordekaiser is gonna have problems there. Meanwhile, though, Lee Sting is just getting away. Does activate the ultimate though, and flash comes in from Lick Me Lid, and that is a good kill onto that one player. Meanwhile, though, Crush is low, but out of distance, out of range. Meanwhile, Lick Me Lid, though, is in trouble here. Does get the knock up onto the Crush, so one more hit should do it. Yeah, the ultimate coming out and taking the kill. And meanwhile, though, the Thresh not going to be able to do any damage, and the Orianna's still there as well. And Thresh is just going to overstay his welcome.
Yeah.
If he moves on, and simple kill, onto.
Ooh, that's unfortunate.
Very good turnaround there for the side of the...
Yeah, no ultimate on the Jinx, and unfortunately, Crush had used his ultimate earlier in a kind of vain attempt on the bot lane to try and get something back on that 2 for 0. Meant he didn't have it to finish off Lead Sting in the mid lane. It does feel like Period Drama are blowing cooldowns. They don't need to in late situations, and it's kind of coming back to hurt them. We'll see if Afrobar gets punished to resist the flash earlier as well. You know, obviously not all of the deficits you take from blowing that are super visible. Sometimes it just means that you've got to play a lot more carefully than you would have done otherwise, and you don't get the same kind of advantages you might have done previously, even if it's not a straight up death because you were missing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, on the side of Big Chungus, it does feel like they need to start doing something with these kills. You know, they've now got a 3k gold lead. They need to start pushing somewhere, because, you know, they are on a bit of a timer with this Jinx.
Meanwhile, though, Thresh might be caught out. Does activate the box, but unfortunately, that is not going to prevent his death, and there's another simple kill. 3 deaths on the side of the Thresh there. Afrobard needs to kind of be a bit more wary about that.
Yeah, you know, especially given how slow Big Chungus are playing, these are kills you don't need to give up. They're not pushing you super hard if you play safe, but it doesn't feel like they do much if you do. So it is a bit disappointing to see Afrobar go down in situations like this, where, you know, it feels avoidable and like you don't need to make those big plays.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you just need to be simple and just keep it simple, you know. Meanwhile, though, we do have the Death Realm activated onto the Singe, so getting very low, though, activates the shield to try and reduce some of the damage. Meanwhile, though, the Poison Trail, just too much, actually, for the Mordekaiser, getting very low, and it is getting very precarious. No flash on both sides of them, though, so there will be no more fight there. Meanwhile, though, we've got the fighting carrying on into the mid lane. Braum, too tanky, of course, for the True Shot Barrage, so we'll be fine. Meanwhile, though, very good shockwave from the Orianna. Will not quite do enough onto the Ezreal, but good awareness there from the Orianna to try and get the kill, but just not quite enough.
Yeah, it feels like, you know, we had our concerns about Big Chungus coming in today. Would they be a bit tilted from, you know, the stomping they got yesterday. Although we see a teleport coming in on the bot lane now from the side of Period Drama.
Yeah, and there we go. As you said, Thresh getting pretty low, but retreats with his team. And yes, the Mega Death Rocket does get the shutdown crucially for the Jinx as well. So that will be a reprieve for the side of Period Drama. And the gold lead at about 3,000 gold, but crucially, they will also be able to get their first Drake. Literally, just a bit caught out there, a bit out of position. So just a bit of the icing on the cake there of that phase for Period Drama.
Yeah, didn't think that they'd have vision in that brush. It's a classy one to have. As we see, the Cloud Drake for, I believe, the first time I've seen it since we've been casting the MLS this season. Last game was, of course, the Fire Drake, removing some of that terrain, but the Cloud Drake giving you speed boosts through some areas of the map. That will be the red buff sides and blue buff sides.
Yeah.
All corners. A little speed boost.
Everywhere, yeah.
But no, before that, Drake, we were saying that we were worried that Big Chungus might be the ones a little tilted from yesterday's ass kicking. But it does feel like Period Drama are the ones, just panicking a little bit. But at the end there, good comms, which I was going to say were worrying me slightly after Crush and Syndra got caught out in the bot when they couldn't seem to decide whether they're going to engage in that Braum or not. But turned around there, nicely held, 2 teleports, well called, brought everyone down, and in the end it was a nice clean take.
Yeah, meanwhile though, we have got the Death Realm activated again to see if Mordekaiser can be a bit more successful this time. It's doing good damage and more resistances on this side, so the Singe might have to be careful. He is out of the Death Realm now, so he should be able to get away. Meanwhile though, Let Me Lid is coming into the regain. Does not get the knock-up though as well, so Realms is going to be able to try and get away. But good knock-up as well from the Singe, and he's just going to do Singe things. Bit of poison, and Lick Me Lid will get the kill there.
Yeah. No, good solid play. Lick Me Lid in the right place, right time. No one from Period Drama close enough to help. And Realms just got baited in a bit. Didn't really take into account how close people were. That was a nice E from Ezreal.
Got a flash over from Crush. Eventually does flash over under the turret, but just too little, too late. And Lick Me Lid, very good there, capitalising on that Ezreal. 1 and 4 on the Ezreal. So it did start well. Meanwhile, though, it's good shockwave. Leads Ting doing Leads Ting things and scaling very nicely.
Yeah. Same problem both times, really, was that both Realms and then Crush got baited in a little too hard when they knew they didn't have anyone in support. And just got caught out for it. Got a little bit baited in by the first person, and the old bait and switch. Suddenly they're 2 for 1 down.
Yeah. So there's a bit naive from Crush there, not really being map aware there. So that does get another kill, and up to about 4,000 gold now on the side of Big Chungus with that Rift Arrow taken as well.
Yeah, we'll see where they decide to drop that. Mid lane's low. Bot lane, isn't too bad. Taking a little bit of damage, but still around half, I believe. Top lane's gone, so it's probably not going to be dropped down there. I expect to see the mid lane drop, though, just to break through and really open up for the Baron when it pops up in a couple minutes.
Yeah, so of course, we actually normally do have 2 Rift Heralds that go on, so... but of course it's too late in the game for that, so it will be a Baron coming up, but there was the chance, and despite the changes as well making Rift Herald slightly weaker, teams obviously still only gone for the 1 Rift Herald this time.
You can see how reliant Period Drama are at the moment at this stage in the game for those hooks to land from the Thresh. They're pressing up, the Thresh hook goes out, and suddenly they catch nothing. They've got it, all 3 of them run back. As we do see the Rift Herald drop bot lane, and what we see is the Singed and Uriel just pressuring through, proxying between the turrets almost, and just pushing back Period Drama, so it's an easy turret take. Of course, Rift Herald is now slightly more squishy.
Oh, that's a good... Shockwave, sorry, my brain just a bit of a freeze there, but again, just being able to warp out of that. It's got to be... has done that before as well, so... the Orianna, as we said, the pivotal player for Big Chungus right now.
Yeah. I will say it's one of the things I'm really enjoying seeing from Crush on this Ezreal, is that he's not using that arcane shift unnecessarily. You'll see a lot of people just use it to get around the jungle because it's cool and flashy. But all that happens then is that you use it, of course, when you're using it in combat, it's on a lot shorter cooldown because of how your Q works with reducing cooldowns by a second. But if you're just using it around the jungle, all that happens is you put it on a 10-second cooldown. 5 seconds later, you run into someone and you're like, why did I use that? Suddenly you've got nothing to good. So he's holding onto it and he's using it just when he needs it. And it saved him 3 or 4 times now already.
Yeah, exactly. So it's very much what people don't realize is that these abilities need to be defensive really, and as soon as you use it aggressively or willy-nilly, then that's when you're going to be caught out. As we do get a death sentence onto the Orianna though, it's a good stun from that one. Nice. Unleashed power goes, so she is out of the fight now. Although Liquid taking out the back line with her claws, does take out the Ezreal, takes out the Jinx as well for a double kill, and the Thresh is getting low as well. He is stuck between a rock and a hard place, and the Lucian, being the hard place, takes one out as well, and that one player is running for his life, but he has got a Singed in behind him, and the Singed will take that kill as Big Chungus wipe the floor with one measly period drama player left, and decide to stay around as well. Bit of poison, bit of damage from the Braum as well. Still going strong. They're kind of just toying with their food there, and Lid will complete the ace.
Yeah, and the dragon will be their prize on the back of this, and a delayed ace. It looked like a good pick originally on the side of period drama. The stun from that one player hitting onto the Orianna kind of opened up the gun whales for them to go through. That's a close little true shot barrage. And then what was a lovely 3-man pull from Mordekaiser to really drag people in. Unfortunately, there aren't that many targets on the side of Big Chungus. You actually want in that close. And it really gives Anariel a bit of a free head start onto your backline. And from there, I think it was mostly good communication on the side of Big Chungus that pulled through that fight. And what was quite a split fight throughout the jungle. You could see at one point that one player and Lickmelid fighting it out, Syndra versus the Rek'Sai in the back. And Anariel started to come down, but he must have got that call from Rek'Sai that it's fine, I've got this, you go deal with the Mordekaiser, make sure he's dealt with. And so he turns around and just makes sure that Mordekaiser isn't going anywhere, he's no threat. And so, yeah, what I saw there was some really good communication coming through from Big Chungus, and it's good to see.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, like you said, it was very good prioritizing there. Litmelid was happy to just go into the back line, do his bits, and then the rest of his team just deal with the rest. So even without the Orianna, they still managed to do that. Meanwhile, Singed is very much in the death realm and stuck. I was lost my words again. Sorry about that. But so that was a bit of a cheap kill there on the side, and so the Singed won't be around to be split pushing, because meanwhile though they have got the Lucian and Braum on the bot lane. They were pushing, but now of course they will try and focus their attention to the mid lane.
Just a safety ult really for the Mordekaiser. They probably had it either way, but let's just keep him in one place. Don't let him get on top of Syndra or someone and do some nasty shenanigans and manage to pull a 1-for-1 on the way out or something like that. So, it's not the longest cooldown in the world, and it does save that Syndra cooldown just in case, someone like the Orianna or the Lucian tries to get frisky on the backside of that.
I'll get too carried away there, but anyway.
But yeah, what we'll see now, hopefully, is Big Chungus try and push some deeper vision in. We can see they're trying to do that on the blue side. Unfortunately, that is, what got Singed caught out, so hopefully they can do it in a safer fashion, maybe buddying up, making sure you go in with the Braum. You see this jungler support kind of synergy hopefully will come through as they clear out wards, they push in deep. Singed is going to the bot side. He can push this out a little bit, but again, he's got to make sure he wards properly in towards that red buff and towards the Krugs if he's going to push much further than kind of the ruins of the outer turret. And it looks like Period Drama are just getting ready to set up for a general mid defense. Maybe push out as a team, get some Baron vision. You know, I like that. Stick as a team. You just got to pick.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
Exactly. Keep things simple. That's what we like to do in the Medway League series here on week 3, as we do get another death sentence onto the Oriana, but not really any way of following that up. So just simply defuse the fight and back to the farming.
Ooh. Singe, Thresh account?
Yeah, but it's onto the Braum, so not really followed up.
No. So again, Afro's got to calm these hooks down. We've said it a couple times, but they've thrown them out with no real payoff at the end, and it kind of hurts their ability to keep Big Chungus out of their jungle. It's coming to the bot lane.
Oh yeah, that Singe we've seen doing a lot of damage. But meanwhile, talking of damage though, there is the fight going on here though. Thresh is half health as well, but meanwhile the Jinx is just no match for the Oriana. That's a simple 1v1 kill there. Meanwhile though, both teleports coming out here. Who's going to come out first? The Singe is straight in there. Thresh is trying to take out the entire team there, and he's just not quite the right candidate there, so he will go down. Meanwhile though, in the death realm, there is the Mordekaiser against the Braum. Unleashed power does try and go to Lucian, but just not enough damage, so the Singe will be able to go down though. Mordekaiser does eventually get the Braum, but as to what ends, gets the Rek'Sai as well, but at the end, it is a 4 for 2, on the side of Big Chungus.
Yeah, I don't see... Crush? No.
Well, does get the final kill there. Very well played by Li Ping as well on the crush. And unfortunately, the Ezreal just not quite landed as we, funnily enough, thought.
Yeah, they need to play like they're 5k behind, or what is now 7k behind, not like they're basically on par. They need to calm it down a bit. You know, Jinx might get you there.
Oh, Death Rocket, yeah, but unfortunately, not quite the execution.
Yeah, Jinx might get you there late
game.
game.
Well, they're really going for it here now. Unleash that one player does get flash, but one more hit from the Thresh does flash over as well.
Nice.
It's going to get death sentence, pull in, and there we are. All those death sentences that weren't quite meaningful, I'm sure, are very much worth now.
Yeah, Syndra's got to be careful here. Like, she will die if she chases after this 1v1.
Come on, number one rule in League, do not chase a Singe, but that is exactly what Period Drama are doing. Meanwhile, though, red team did get the dragon, and they do get the kill on the Singe with no consequences, but 4 of them on the Singe for the third Drake to Big Chungus, so not quite sure that's the right trade-off there.
Yep, a classic Gambit, Darien, top lane, feed to win play.
Yeah. They are going for the Baron though. There is no vision currently on the side, so so this could be interesting. Taking a while to get down though. Meanwhile though, Lick Me Lid I think has been able to detect Period Drama in the Baron pit. Getting very low now, 2,000 gold. Is she going to do anything? She's coming in for the ultimate, but they do get the Baron, and that does mean a possible comeback for the side of Period Drama, who also do get the kill in the end there as well. Very well coordinated there, despite the sporadic plays we've seen so far.
Yeah, nice. Just a good, solid counter call. Like, you know, maybe not surprising. We've seen them make a lot of calls, decisive calls this game. It just turns out that a lot of them have been wrong. This time, this time it was the correct call, though. You know, you killed the Singed, you had the TP, no one else was around. It was just the Rek'Sai who comes in a bit too late. With, you know, kudos to the Rek'Sai. They were close, but you know, there was no vision in the pit, so it was a bit of a Hail Mary play, all things considered.
Yeah.
So yeah, what they need to do here is just hold on. This Baron, you know, it stops you losing because you know they don't have it. Ooh, is Thresh gonna get caught again?
Yeah, he is currently on his own at the moment. The Jinx is here though, doing a bit of damage, but she just doesn't do enough damage to the Braum and the Singe, so unfortunately that's going to be a free kill. Meanwhile though, Singe does activate that Righteous Glory, gets the slow onto the Ezreal. Is he going to throw him over? Yes, he is. The Ezreal is very much truly gone. And now the stopwatch is unfortunately going to stop the life of the Mordekaiser as well. And that simple kind of miscalculation has caused a lot of errors there.
Yep. Yeah, well, that Baron buff was their ticket to 7 minutes later in the game, which is where the Jinx might do something. Unfortunately, it's only about a minute since they took it, and she's still sitting on 2.5 items. And another
and a simple kill as well. Lee's team just showing them how it's done, though that one player does do well to react to the Zhonya's as well. So that was a 1-for-1 there. But a long way to go. Almost double the amount of kills on the side of Big Chungus. Showing them who's boss.
Yeah, really putting it all on the table. So 30 seconds on Lee's Tingo. The Orianna does provide them with a fair amount of engage if the Singe does not have the right to score up, which he doesn't for another 20 seconds, but it looks like that may not be a problem.
Yeah. Meanwhile, though, talking of problems, I think Thresh has one himself, and he does go down as well. So good damage, though, on the side of the Ezreal. That's good damage from that one player as well, and does take down the Singe. So, of course, she does still have that Baron buff, so empowering the minions and pushing hard. Yeah. So, unfortunately, Big Chungus are going to have to try and defend this with Baron-empowered minions. Might be able to take this turret. Culling is some good damage as well, keeping them away for now. But the Ezreal is able to do some damage on that turret. Goes to half health for now. But meanwhile, though, Lick Me Lid coming in a bit too close. And that inner turret in mid lane we'll fight to see another day. Good Zhonya's to avoid that shockwave. There is no shockwave on the side of Big Chungus. So period drama will think they can probably hang around a bit more. But Crush getting very low. Finding the True Shot Barrage just to ensure things up. And we'll have to back off surely now.
Yeah, that Triforce completed on the Ezreal is more of a power spike than I was expecting. Certainly, that singed exploded. Maybe they still got a bit more in them. You know, Jinx and Ezreal will be a powerful late game duo if a little AD loaded. They're going to need Syndra to pull through, put out a fair amount of damage. Because I was going to say the Singed will itemize fairly heavily into armor, but so far. The Spectre's Cowl is what he's going to be picking up next. Maybe he is just scared of that burst out of the Syndra. So, yeah, we'll see what they want to do. The Cloud Drake coming up now, Singed in behind, clearing out vision, probably going to be dropping a little bit of his own. Found the Syndra. But they found him.
And then the fight going as well. It's a bit all over the place at the moment, so we're just waiting to see if that was going to pan out or not. But the Unleashed power has been used on the Singe, so it is going to come back very soon. Meanwhile, though, Lucian is getting in a bit of trouble. Death Realm does activate, though, as well, so that will be a simple kill for the Mordekaiser. Meanwhile, though, the fourth Drake onto the side of Big Chungus as well, crucially getting that Dragon Soul, so does get a double kill for Leeds Tings, and it's currently very even at the moment, though, but I think it's going to be all right on the side of Big Chungus. Lick Me Lid is getting very low. He's going to have to be careful, stay away from the Syndra. It's not singed and does get punished in the end. So they do have that fourth Drake, which means they have the Cloud Dragon Soul, giving them that extra movement after activating their ultimate abilities, I believe.
Yeah, some movement speed generally, but a large boost after ultimate activations. You know, I thought maybe the Syndra would be able to hold them off. They were quite low, but... And the ultimate is already back up for the Syndra. That's very quick on the cooldown. You know, is level 16, has the third level in. Didn't fancy following up on Afrobot. It does, in fact. That's a late follow-up, but they're not going to find anyone. Just going to be chasing shadows out the backside of that fight.
The story of this game for period drama, really. Just been one step behind Big Chungus, the veterans of the Medway League series.
Yeah, now we see Orianna may be caught. Nice dodge on the Pop the Cork, which is still not called Pop the Cork, it's called Zap. I just played the Mafia skin too much.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, not good. Shockwave coming in there. The Jinx getting very low. She's still alive, though, doing well to keep alive with the life steal there. Super Mega Death Rocket not hitting anyone, and eventually Lee's team does get the kill, but the Mordekaiser gets the return, shut down on there. So that was 2 kills for the side of Big Chungus and Period Drama. So still in it, and Period Drama just hanging on by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah, I think that'll suit Period Drama all right. Not super well, but anything that slows down the game at this point is good. Jinx going down isn't great.
Yeah, Lucian is very much stuck like a fish in a barrel, and he goes down very easily. Meanwhile, though, we've got Death Rail. Mordekaiser is now on a killing spree, 11-6, really coming into the game very strong, because the 1-6 Jinx is not really the force that she usually is. So the Mordekaiser causing a lot of issues in this game.
Yeah, they're going to quickly take this Baron buff. The Singed is going to teleport in very late into this Baron take. Well, 2/3 of the way through.
See what he does there. They are behind Baron as well, which does cause extra damage. Mordekaiser getting very low. Of course, he does have his shield as his health, so he should be okay. Meanwhile, though, he's activated the shield eventually and does get the health regen, but unfortunately eventually goes down to the poison. Meanwhile, though, Syndra could be stuck in a place here, but she have the damage to kill the Singed. I got to really improve on that, unfortunately. Meanwhile, though, Jinx is coming back, does get a kill onto the Singed eventually. So it's all kind of going all over the place here. Did go for the Baron call optimistically, but did not come to fruition.
Yeah, a 2 for 3, which on the face of it looks pretty bad. But 2 kills down means that there's no fear of... Well, I was about to say no fear of this. They do have a vision on those, so we'll see whether they can get there in time. Probably not with the super minions in their base. Okay.
Yeah, no Super Mega Death Rocket either to try and steal, so that's going to be a very quick Baron for Big Chungus, and that will be what they just need, just to breathe and reset and hopefully try and see this game out.
Yeah, I thought maybe Period John would be able to protect that with the Jinx looking a lot stronger, and then they're sitting on a teleport advantage, but sadly not. So that's a Baron buff over onto... Was that onto 3 out of the 5 members of Big Chungus? So just not on the Singed or on the Rek'Sai.
Yeah.
Brawl.
And what would you make of these builds? Oh, flash away. That's very interesting. Bits of scared of the death sentence, quite literally. But yeah, what do you think of the builds? Because it's gone very damage heavy on the side of the Rek'Sai. And I thought might have gone for a bit more resistances.
Yeah, I probably would have done as well. I don't think you need to be doing damage when you've got an Orianna. Pretty much when you've got an Orianna on your team. You just need to be able to get that ball in there and survive. I guess it gives you some more dive potential onto that Jinx, where you can take an Orianna ball through and then just Rek'Sai Orianna burst one shot. But you could probably do that, tank Rek'Sai still, with Orianna burst and some tank Rek'Sai damage. I
mean, she's still got 2,500 health, so she should be okay. But I just, in terms of the Jinx now, going to be kind of the focus, and the Ezreal, so 2 ADCs, and a very bursty mage as well. So just surprised by that, really. But
yeah, I mean, Ninja Tabai obviously makes sense. Ooh, Syndra's going to be in a rough spot here.
Yeah, nice. She's very much caught, but does get pulled back to the Thresh Lantern at least. Meanwhile, though, the Singed does have to flash away out of the turret range, so he's been on his own here. Meanwhile, though, the Culling doing well to zone away the Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser has activated the Death Realm, though, and going to try and take down Big Chungus, but unfortunately failing. So more death sentences coming out, but a throw and a flash and all dodging around. Meanwhile, though, Jinx is just standing inside the poison. Does survive and get the kill, but unfortunately the poison is just too much in the end. And a double kill for Lick Me Lid and Big Chungus does probably mean that this is the end.
Yeah, GG's called in chat. This should be the end. 3 people should be able to finish this off in the next 30 seconds with super minions, or at least 2 big cannon minions in the top lane. So, there we go.
Very, very good fight at the end there, but unfortunately, Period Drama could not just hold on, and the win goes to the Big Chungus.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, you could see that Period Drama were starting to pull back into that. They probably could have done that 10 minutes earlier if they hadn't thrown out so much kind of impulsive play earlier on that cost them that kind of, that pushed them back on their scaling.
Yeah, exactly. And the Ezreal, like we said, was all or nothing, basically. If he's behind, then he's just going to get punished, and of course ends up with the most deaths on the team. So it was a bold strategy, and the Mordekaiser came through there at the end almost. Rounds using the realm, as it were, but sadly it was not to be.
Yeah, it definitely felt like it could have all turned around if Imperial Drama had managed to take that last Baron. But the clutch teleport in from the Singed to help out the Braum between the two of them, clearing out the that attempted take, just kind of cemented it in on what was, definitely the turning point there.
Yeah. But there we go. So it's been a couple of interesting games, and have ended up very lopsided, but with some interesting points along the way.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it's kind of been the more thought out draft pick that's actually been able to come out on top.
Yeah. Especially that second game. I think it probably was a lot closer than it felt like at points. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, I guess. I think we're all done, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I've been told. Hopefully there's not a midnight game sort of thing. So,
no. There isn't, and I don't want to do one, so we wouldn't do it anyway. So anyway, cheers, guys. This is, of course, Season 5, Week 3 of the MLS. We've got plenty more weeks to come, so make sure you turn up every week and support your favourite teams. Whether that's Period Drama, Big Chungus, Team Washed Up, Blue Bin Boomers, or any other teams that we've not managed to catch tonight. Stay tuned. Keep your eyes on Twitch. Keep your eyes on the Facebook channel. That's the Medway League series.
Yep.
We'll be all over the place. Catch us around. Cheers, guys.
Then see you Thursday.